Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Parental Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Tiana, and today we have a very, very special guest. We have a viral sensation. He's a boxer. He's an actor. He's a content creator. He's an all-around gen dropper and one of my personal favorite people to follow on TikTok. Today we have Smart, a.k.a. Smart Guy. Welcome, welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. It's so good to see you. Were you busy today?
Extremely. Extremely. And I learned something today organically, right? Like the key to when you get like a wave of things is you have to kind of like take a step back, meditate and really, really be present. So these past couple of days has been an extreme challenge. But I'm still here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're so happy to have you, especially me. I'm really excited to do this interview. I first want to tell you thank you for even taking all the time in your busy schedule. I really appreciate it.
Likewise, I appreciate you too.
Absolutely. So when we first spoke on the phone, you talked about, well, initially when we spoke on Instagram, I was like, wait a minute, are you a parent, Smart? And you were like, yeah, I'm raising my brother. So I was ready to dive right into that if you are. How did that even come about?
Well, my father was never there, and my mother was a drug addict. So I had to early on play that role of just like the father figure for my younger brothers, and everything that I did in life became like the standard or the point of reference for them. So that was definitely tough growing up early on because I didn't get a chance to have a childhood, and I had to really, really start like figuring out ways to get money, get food, get clothes, and share with my brothers.
And how old were you when all that initially took place?
I was young. I was a kid. I was young. I was young. I tend not to. I always gotta. I've done a lot of illegal things in my life, so I'm very mindful of age. But this is before I was a teenager. I'm talking 11 years, as young as 11, 10 years old. Stealing food, stealing food from supermarkets, stealing clothes, hustling, selling weed, selling crack, doing anything to have some extra money.
Yeah.
So I could eat. So let me just rehash that. So my father wasn't there. Mother was getting high on drugs, wasn't paying us no mind. And so I had to step up to the plate. I had to figure out something that would make money. So my first hustle was swiping Metro cards in the train, in the turnstile, right? And then from swiping the Metro cards, we're going to steal foods from the supermarket, steaks and fish, and then trying to figure out how to resell them, and then robbing people, and then selling weed, selling crack, anything to get $1. In any type of a hustle, I was on it.
Oh my! I bet that was a lot of pressure on your shoulders too.
And here's the thing, right? I didn't know it was pressure early on, but then I adapted.
Okay.
So that became the norm, right? Like I didn't have, like from the gate, I never had a relationship with my mother that was nurturing. I never had the proper relationship with my mother. So what was the point of reference, right? Like it was normalized, like the abuse, and I was molested by my mother. My mother would beat me within an inch of my life. It was a story. My mom's had like almost made me overdose on like Pepto-Bismol and cough serum. Like she had me I must have drunk like 15 bottles, and she was beating me, making me drink it. And then she called my grandmother, and she was like, yo, you better come get him. And when my grandmother came, seen how sick I was throwing all over the place. I was throwing up blood. My grandmother called 911. The ambulance came, and they said, if you would have been 20 minutes later, he would have died.
Jesus.
right? So that was, it was just, it was tough. So
Mm.
I had to learn how to be strong, because there wasn't too much opportunities for me to be weak.
Right.
And as I progressed, it just became norm. Like so it was like, okay, this is what we're doing. I'm 10 years old. We got to get up. We got to get up. We got to, I'm in the shelter. I'm in Covenant House,
Oh,
and
wow.
5 a.m. they getting everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody making sure we going to school. Nobody taking us, so that's it. And we leave out, and now we outside running from the truancy police,
Yeah.
and just trying to find a way to survive. So I'm saying all to say this. I didn't realize how tough it was because it just became so normal for me.
Absolutely. And I was going to say that, like, people who go through the things that you went through, you really drop a lot of gems on how to persevere through all of that. How did you get your mind to even construct in that direction? Because most people, honestly, let's be honest, they would have folded. You didn't.
Yeah,
Like, you literally pushed through day by day from what I can see today.
yeah, I mean, for sure. But that's why they say experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a child and you're forced to figure out how to feed yourself, there's going to be, a different type of development
Mm-hmm.
because the responsibilities are more versus a child who has parents.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm meeting those responsibilities, in order for me to maintain the meeting of those responsibilities, then I had to evolve.
Yeah.
So I could no longer be a child. I had to figure out how to be a man child.
Right. Right.
And it was the environment, it was the circumstances, it was the abuse, it was the dysfunctional family, it was the abandonment that forced me to become great. So say pressure busts pipes or makes diamonds. And
That's true.
I guess what was underneath was revealed when the pressure came. And it was a strong, resourceful, charismatic,
Mm.
articulate, intelligent
Mm.
little black boy. And that's what, that's what happened. But how I was able to do it and everything too, like how I was able to stay strong is also having a relationship with God. Right. And
Right.
through that relationship with God, came the how can I say, the assistance came,
Mm.
And it's nothing like honest prayer, right? Like
Yes.
honest prayer is the quickest way to get to get God on fast food time,
Mm.
right? Because you got cooked food and you got
Mm.
fast food, right? So if you want God to come immediately, man, you honest prayer. I'm a child. I'm going
Yes.
through this. I'm crying. God, help me. Somebody, man, please.
Yes. Yes. I get it. Mm-hmm.
That was the thing that was the biggest catalyst for my development was God, my relationship with God, and having honest prayer. And yeah, so
That's beautiful, smart. I love that. And for you to even be strong enough to even like pour this out, that says a lot about you as a man. So I definitely take my hat off to you. Tell me more about your brothers, because obviously they were with you during the time that the abuse obviously was being instilled on you. So how has the trauma affected them, and how do you probably like sway the trauma away from them? Like, how do they deal with the
well
emotional
you can't
scars?
well, I can't speak for them, right? And you can't it's another thing I learned.
Mm.
Um, everybody's pain threshold is different because what would what would be good enough for me
Mm.
sometimes wasn't good enough for my brothers,
Right.
right? What would help me become stronger when they wouldn't have the same reaction.
Mm.
So I had to learn, and I'm still learning to this day, how to communicate with each one of my brothers as an individual.
Mm. Okay, I see.
And I had to learn to use my experience and use my wisdom, but take account their pain threshold, take account how they react to situations. So I had to study, before even my baby brother, our relationship is getting better because I'm understanding how to deliver my wisdom to him.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't understand his pain threshold, which I do now,
mm-hmm.
right, I wouldn't be able to reach him or help him emotionally heal and even develop mentally.
Right.
Right. And we had a great conversation yesterday, right? And he called me and he was like, yo, man, yo, bro, big bro, what do I do with this, that, and the third? And before I gave him a response, I listened to him. And it took me a long time to learn how to listen. Listening is like, it's different ways and techniques to listen.
Yeah.
Right? How we respond. That's bullshit. Or you're listening, but you're looking away. And I had to learn how to give him the wisdom through listening. Because a lot of times people ask questions when they're telling you something. They're asking you to listen, right? They're asking you to listen, but they're asking you a question. So I had to learn, and this is something that I think, parents should have. Learn how to answer your child's question by the responses you give to them while you're listening.
Right.
So I had to learn that. And so to answer your question, like, how was I able to maybe like lighten their load emotionally?
Right.
Well, I had to understand how they cultivate their emotions, how they deal with their emotions, how do they even view emotions. Right? I had to psychoanalyze my brothers, and how I psychoanalyzed them was listening, communicating, doing due diligence and taking notes. And I would like have a conversation with my brother. He'd be on the phone. I'll take notes. And then I'll sit back and I say, okay, he responds this way. And or if we got in an argument and he would shut down, I would be very, very aware of the things that triggered him to shut down, even if I felt he was wrong. And I still do. But am I trying to win an agreement contest, or am I trying to make my younger brother a better man? I'm trying to make my younger brother a better man. So I had to learn how to put my ego aside.
Yeah.
And by ego, I mean, I'm thinking that he wants salmon, but he wants chili and sea bass. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to give him steak, but he wants chicken. Right? So, and it's a fine line, because I'm not your friend. I'm your brother. Right? So there's it's weird, right? Because relationship love and parent love and brother love is two different things, right? So I say all the time, a woman's role in a relationship is wisdom and balance. So, hold on 1 second. Sorry. A woman's role in a relationship is wisdom and balance, right? But it's three phases of love. The first phase of love is informative, right? So you got informative love, where she's informing that man of who he is and how does he get his ability to provide. He gets his ability to provide by provision that he gets from God, right?
Right.
So the first phase of love a woman has is okay, sorry. So the first phase of love is informative. The second phase of love is unconditional, the last phase of love is tough love, which is accountability.
Right.
Right. So what I had to learn, but the problem is a lot of times women lead with the last. They lead with accountability and tough love, but there's no informative love or unconditional love to set the table for the tough love, which is the accountability. Right. So that's relationship love. But parent and brother and family love is different, especially when it's man to brother. I had to understand, I had to lead with the tough love, the accountability first with my brothers. You're fucking stupid. Get out of here. Yo, what? Like, and we would have all these arguments, right?
Yeah.
And now that because I led with the tough love, now I'm moving into unconditional and informative love. They respect the unconditional love because I led with the tough love. I was firm with them.
Right.
And I led by example. So my firmness was a projection of the discipline that I was displaying. And then and me having nice cars or having nice jewelry, right? And I'm wearing, the nice the stuff that they want to wear, but I'm telling them, hey, I got here by having discipline. I'm in shape. I don't smoke. I don't drink. So now they respected the tough love more because I led by example and I was consistent, right? Now that I'm moving into unconditional love and informative love, now it's like the conversations are different. It's like, man, you told me this 10 years ago. You told me this 15 years ago.
They're listening.
Right? They're listening now. But I'm also delivering the message a lot more palpable, right? A lot more digestive, right? I'm a little more smooth. I'm a lot less less abrasive.
Right.
But I had to set the tone firm. So that's what the approach I'm taking now with my brothers.
That's a really good approach. And the fact that they're listening and even able to revert back to the things that you said, that means you're doing something right. So again, I take my hat off to you for sure. Talk to me about how you got into boxing. Is boxing more therapeutic for you to help you work through the trauma? Obviously, I feel like you can never stop healing. You can never stop healing. So I know that boxing can be like that healing mechanism as well.
No, you definitely stop healing. It's an ED.
Really? Let's talk about it. Tell me. Enlighten me.
I mean, you have different phases, right? You have, it's about 4 or 5 phases, right? So phase 1 is the actual thing that hurt you. Right? That's one. Then the next thing is, the healing. I'm healing.
Yeah.
Think of it like this: you get a cut, you get a gash on your face, right? You get now, depending on how deep the gash is, it's either going to be a scar for life, or it's going to be something that will pass. Okay, so I'm hurt. I get scratched. I'm bleeding. It hurt really bad. But the day of the scratch and after the scratch, it doesn't hurt. It's a different level of hurt, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm healing. It's starting to develop a scab, et cetera, right? After I'm healing, what comes after that? I'm healed.
True.
Now listen. Hold on. This is a powerful analogy that parents need to know, because a lot of times they keep fucking healing when they should be healed. Okay? I'm giving a recipe. I'm giving a recipe, and the reason why I was interested in having a conversation with you, because it was about parenting. And sometimes kids who are abandoned, kids who are abused, and they survive, they can teach on parenting because they know what not to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they dealt with it.
I agree.
Okay. So now you get cut, you get scratched, you hurt, The scratch hurt. Cool. Now, this is day 2 now. You wake up in the morning, you got the scar on your face. It's still tender. It hurts a little bit, right? It hurts, right?
Yeah.
You put your ointment on it, right? And you're on top of it though, right? You're not letting it get infected, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you leave the cut unattended, you can be infected, and the infection hurts. But don't misconstrue the hurt of the action of being attacked versus you neglecting cleaning the cut properly and catching an infection. 2 different types of hurt here,
Yes.
right? So you get scratched. You soon as immediately you clean it properly.
Yep.
Every day you have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
You have a skincare routine, and now you're going through the healing process.
True.
And then after that process, now you are healed. Done. Now, we got technology now, right? So the person says, well, I got a deeper gash. Cool. Same thing. You're on top of it. You cleaned it. You go into a dermatologist. You go into a skin specialist, right? You get laser bleaching removal. Scars gone. Right? The problem is, I do not take advice from people who are not healed, pretending that they are healed, saying that you're still healing or you're going to forever be healing. I don't believe that shit. I've been in drug programs. And you know what they tell you?
What?
Once an addict, always an addict. That's what they tell you in anything. AAA, they tell you. I was an alcoholic. I was addicted to weed. I was a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
I am no longer a drug addict because I knew that I could change, and I stopped doing drugs.
That's true.
Whatever listen, how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. How you think creates how you feel. So if you think that you are healed, you will heal.
That's right. That's true. I agree with you. On that. I do. But for some people, those emotional scars take way, way longer than they expect. So they will forever be healing first, unfortunately.
No, it's not unfortunately. They can heal. They either don't have the information or they don't have the confidence to apply the information that will lead to healing and being healed.
True.
Okay? This is what God revealed to me. So I don't know what nobody's talking about. And this is why relationship with God is important, because if I'm betting abandonment issues is not my God. Anxiety is not, abandonment issues is not my God. Mm-hmm. Anxiety is not my Lord. Mm-hmm. Fear is not my God. I do not pray to fear. I do not go and say, hey, fear, I'm going to pray to you. Can you help me?
That's true.
Jealousy is not my God. Mm-mm. Anger is not my God. Doubt is not my God. I know who my Father is. So that relationship with God, and I asked God to heal me, and I'm healed. That was the thing that created the most powerful change in my life. Understanding that I can be healed. Because if I wasn't, I'll be dead. I'll be in jail. I'll be angry. Right? I wouldn't have no relationships with women. I would hate women. It would be crazy.
True.
I had to ask God, hey, help me. And you know what God did? Healed me. I wanted to stop smoking. I wanted to stop drinking, and I couldn't. Right? I asked God, you know what God did? Because I was honest. We talk about honest prayer. Mm-hmm. He removed the desire out of me to smoke and drink.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
He removed the spirit. When man fell short, God transcends. Like when man goes here, God surpasses man every time.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
There's no ceiling for God. So I had to learn how to survive. So don't tell me a little black boy cannot be the head of a household. Don't tell me, little black boys mature slower than girls. Bullshit. Don't tell me little black boys, can't be strong and can't be masculine and can't get their shit together. Right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and now if I would have had parents to push me, but nurture me, but still push me, it would have been the same result. I just wouldn't have went to prison.
True.
So we have to start developing little black boys to be strong, to be confident, to be powerful, to be masculine, to be consistent, to be honest. Everything that you say men are, you can program your son not to be. Yo, niggas ain't shit. Blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It starts with that man that you don't like was once a boy.
That is very true. Right? Yeah.
Right. So, and what did we talk about? Because I studied child psychology, and in child psychology, they talked about the child's window period. The child's learning curve is the shortest between the ages of 0 to 7.
Yes.
So, what you teach a little black boy between the ages of 0 to 7 develops him, sets the foundation for his mind as a man.
Right.
So the people, your audience who watch this, when you talk about parenting, we have to create more advanced curriculum for little black boys between the ages of 0 to 7. And we have to control the institutions that teach these advanced curriculums to our children between the ages of 0 to 7. This is why homeschool is so important. And if we don't have the courage or the fortitude or the mental toughness to create the institution, at least educate your child from home until 7.
I agree with you.
Because there's a conspiracy to destroy the minds of little black boys. If you want to see evil, look up first grade teachers. If you want to see evil, if you want to see brainwashing, if you want to see programming, if you want to see systematic racism, psychoanalyze the majority of first to third grade teachers. It would scare you.
Okay, I'll get right on that for certain. I definitely will, and so will our listeners.
It would scare you because the wolves, the people, the creators of wolves put the strongest wolves in the houses of cubs.
Yeah.
Right? So how does what's the relationship like between the teacher in first grade with that little black boy? It's very condescending. It doesn't create confidence. It creates insecurities. It conditions him. It conditions him to be inconsistent and not sure of himself. Between 0 to 7 is when the mind of that black man is being cultivated and created and developed. So parents, especially mothers and fathers, need to be more aware of the age range from 0 to 7. Yeah, bro, listen, man, I need a new manager, man. Listen, Jesus, I got a board game. You get an exclusive.
Okay.
So, I have a board game that's dropping next week. It's called The Reality of Life. So it's this the board game. So you know what I mean?
See it. I see it.
Yeah. So yes. So part 2 is going to be amazing, and it's just been a lot because I've really, and I'm gonna say this right, just to give people a little insight. Helping Black people is tough, and you have to have a lot of discernment. So for me, I'm the real deal when it comes to helping our people.
Yeah.
And I've been dealing with a lot of pushback. So that means I have to be more internal in terms of external. I have to insource more rather than outsource. Right. So I'm making the adjustment from outsourcing to insourcing until I get to a certain position where I have the time to vet people out. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to part 2.
But I definitely look forward to talking to you again, and I promise it will definitely be in person, right, Smart?
For sure. Got you.
Okay. I appreciate you so much, and you enjoy the rest of your day. And Parental Vision, it's a wrap with Smart Guy. Take care.
Peace.